Do you have any idea how to wake the elf prince up?
Unfortunately, I don't. I think I've tried just about every remedy I know, but nothing works.
You said just about. I'm guessing that's not by chance?
It's true. There's one formula I haven't tried yet. An extremely powerful solution that requires a certain ingredient to make. An ingredient I don't have.
What is it?
A very virulent poison secreted by the chrysalid queen. But be careful you don't mix them up with the ones you usually see. I wanted to go looking for them myself, but the villagers stopped me. They say they're really dangerous. It seems they can be found along the road we took to get here. And apparently, they only come out at night.
I'll get you some. I'll be going now.
Mr. Vulcan, what brings you here?
I've got a few questions I'd like to ask about this village. Let's talk about work. I need the reports about this beast that attacked the villagers.
I fear I am unable to be of help. I'm still not entirely convinced that it even exists. All I know is that several villagers have vanished. One villager is at present in the doctor's care, following a supposed encounter with the said beast. These swamps are crawling with dangers. There is nothing to suggest anything out of the ordinary. The refugees are always inventing horror stories in an attempt to force us to open our gates and let them inside.
It might be worth checking it out. You said you lost one of your patrols, right?
That is so. You should speak with Randval. He was most anxious to go out and hunt the beast down, but we needed him here. Now that we have more able bodies to guard our gates, I imagine he would be keen to pick up the scent once more.
So what's the problem with the healing house?
Quite simply, Mirana cannot keep up. She spends every waking minute giving out supplies to the refugees and refuses to admit that she cannot help everyone. She thinks she's fooling me. I have heard rumors that her food stock is running low. Unsurprisingly, the crowds outside are becoming restless. I believe they wish to continue handing out our food reserves as though they were unlimited. This is not the case, and thus, it is not an option.
So, you want someone to put her down?
Why, I never suggested any such thing. I just wish she would see reason, for all our sakes. But I have asked nothing of you. I was merely answering your question.
I've got a few questions I'd like to ask about this village. We'll talk again later.
The knight heard talk of a troubling event that happened during the meeting between the mercenary and the steward.
Yeah, the short version is that I have a demon living inside of me.
A demon? The knight has never heard of such a creature. Should he be worried?
Don't worry about it. The thing inside of me allows me to control fire. Could be pretty useful against the Dead Walkers, huh?
Evidently. But is there not a risk that this creature will devour the mercenary?
A risk? Not yet. It needs me, and I have it under control. I have a few questions I need to ask you. You mentioned the Order of the Ember Knights. What is that?
It is the order that a knight belongs to. They are the surviving warriors and honored soldiers of other orders that were lost during this war.
Oh, so it's kind of the Order of the Orphan Knights.
This name does not sound well to his ears.
Right. So you haven't always been an Ember Knight.
No. He was first a defender of the Algander Islands. Then he was a Templar of the Order of Burgeons, and then a Brother of the Rock, and then a Summer Tracker.
So all of those orders have been lost. That must have been hard.
He has lost many valorous companions in battle, and his heart is heavy with scars.
I'll bet. So what is the creed of the Ember Knights?
The knight has long searched for the answer. Now he knows it. To seek a glorious death and carry as many enemies as possible away with him.
That's kind of depressing. If you follow me, we should be able to find a chance for you to get your beautiful death. Just try not to commit suicide at the first available opportunity.
The knight will wait for this moment.
You're not from around here. Where do you come from?
The knight was born in the Algander Islands. It is a proud and savage place where the struggle against the wind and vicious neighbors makes a man strong. The Ice Lords attacked the islands more than 15 years ago, long before the rest of Vertial knew that the world was now at war. The clans were always fighting, but they fought together as brothers when the islands were threatened. And as a defender of Algander, the knight had the honor to be one of the first to fight, and with his brothers for a long time he repulsed the invader. Some of the clan chiefs wanted to make peace with the Ice Lords, but the Ice Lords betrayed them, and the clans were decimated. Their numbers were sorely missed during the following battles, and in a few short months the war was almost lost. The knight was sent by the surviving clan chiefs to the mainland to find allies. But time is a cruel master. When he returned to his homeland, the islands were buried beneath the ice.
So how did you end up in the village of Valvanor?
When he saw that all his kin were slain, the knight was hungry for revenge and sought out battles to bathe his pain in blood. But in every battle, he lost more of his brothers in arms and faced an enemy that only grew stronger. The orders were always hazardous, with betrayals common and errors never-ending. Faced with these eternal difficulties and death, always more death, the knight lost his hope, and so he left the field of battle. He decided instead to take care of the war's victims, to protect them, even though he knew it could only last a short time. It is a final mission without any other hope but to give comfort and relief to a few innocent souls.
What do you think of the Red Scribes?
Their studies have made them blind. Only knowledge interests them. They show contempt for all else. Today they have the ear of the last surviving warriors. They do not deserve this honor, and their words are hollow.
So what did you abandon when you entered into the Order of the Ember Knights?
The knight has already said he does not wish to speak of this.
Fair enough. I won't ask you anymore. Let's change the subject. I'll leave you.
I am busy, mercenary. Go do what you're getting paid for.
Yeah, who are you? One of them fucking mercenaries, right?
Fucking mercenary, yeah. Sounds about right.
You know what I call your lot? Ore blades. And I got no time for ores.
Maybe if you were to do something about your bad breath, the whores would let you get close to them. You know, I'm just saying.
Go fuck yourself, Oreblade. Do I have to spill it out, or should I just put my boot in your arse? Clear off!
Would you just shut your stupid mouth for 2 seconds, please? The steward sent me here to help you.
Oh, that's all I need. Don't he think I got enough on my plate? Now he sends me some ore blade from God's nowhere. Hey, as long as it ain't me is paying for you, hey? You want to help? Knock yourself out. I warn you, there's plenty to do.
Get to the point before I set your breath on fire.
All right, take it easy. No need to get nasty, eh? You want to help? Yes or no?
Keep talking.
Well, for a start, you could try and find one of my patrols that's gone missing. At first, I thought maybe one of those half-wits was sleeping it off under a tree somewhere. But it's been a while now. Maybe something bad happened to him in the swamp.
I guess I could go back and check.
What a coincidence. That's exactly what I was going to ask you. After that, well, I suppose a pro like you, I guess it would be useful helping out the sentries. It won't be luxury. I don't know if you've seen what we're supposed to fight with, but, wow, if you can have a word with your quartermaster to see what he can do for my lads, you have my blessing.
The benediction of a drunk. Better and better.
It's what all us fucking mercenaries dream of. All right, I'll see what I can do.
Right. We may be living in the arsehole of Virgil, but being armed like a bunch of tramps, we can do without. And while you're at it, when you've been to the forge, you'll probably feel like letting off steam a bit. Why don't you go and take it out on my lads?
What do you mean?
Kick their arses so they can't sit down and get drunk instead of patrolling. And show them a couple of tricks while you're at it. A bit of training. Couldn't do no harm.
Your men can't afford to keep their thumbs in their asses. It's time to teach them how to use those weapons.
Knock yourself out, Pettyblade. I'll go and shake them awake. Perfect. I couldn't have done better. I reckon the lesson is gonna leave a few marks this time. Have you got time to go again, while they're still warmed up?
Why not? Let's go.
Even so, they are making progress. If you whack them enough times, they remember how to defend themselves. Are you up for giving them one last lesson?
One last lesson.
course, they'll hate you for a while, but what they learned here today will save their lives one day.
My pleasure. I like this way of saving lives.
My goodness, let's see. You're not pissing blood, you're not vomiting your guts out. Both legs are in place and they seem to be holding you upright. Congratulations. It looks like you'll pull through. And now you'll excuse me, but I have other miracles to accomplish, and not much time to devote to people in your condition.
Take it easy there, Doc. I'm with the Freeborn Blades. I'm not one of your refugees.
You could be Blackstorm himself for all I care. Now get out of my way, I have things to do. Haven't you anything better to do than bother me?
Hang on a sec. The steward himself sent me here to give you a hand.
Wonderful. I've been after him for months to get me some help, and he sends me an armed ape. You practice medicine, I presume? Your tools seem rather barbaric.
For someone with so much to do, you sure do talk a lot. So let's get this figured out, because I've got some shit to do too. Either you need help and you want me to handle it, or you don't, and you deal with it yourself.
Well then, I suppose I have nothing to lose. In fact, there is something that you could doubtless do for me. I'm worried about my assistant Haman. I haven't seen him for a while now, and I fear he might have gone into the swamps to look for the plants I need. We're forced to venture further and further in to find the plants we need. With all that's been going on lately, I forbade him from going back out alone, but the boy is nothing if not stubborn.
Stubborn? Yeah, I hate people like that.
Please find him. He's a good boy. He's done nothing but help others since he arrived. Without him, the House of Healing would be a house of death.
If I'm gonna be slogging through the swamps anyway, might as well take a look around and try to bring back the plants you need too, right? You got any drawings or descriptions?
Yes, that's a good idea. I would be grateful to you. But above all, try to bring back my assistant Haman in one piece. He is your priority. For the rest, basically, I need food, medicinal herbs, and of course, I wouldn't say no to a few pre-prepared potions. All of our stock seems to disappear so quickly. I'll give you the parchment that I made for Haman to help you recognize the specimens I need. He knows them by heart now, after so many trips.
Right. Plants, potions, chow, and one assistant. If I come across any elven tea, would you like a cup of that too?
That would be lovely.
Have you heard any rumors about a beast wandering around in the marshes?
They are not rumors. There is something in these marshes, and I have a patient in a coma that confirms it.
Something? What does that mean? Where can I find it?
I don't know exactly what it is. The wounds don't resemble anything seen around here before. What you seek is large, powerful, and obviously has enormous claws at its disposal. The wounded man was found west of the swamps, crawling towards the village. If you really wish to fall upon that beast, that would be a good place to start. But bear in mind the possibility that it may be the beast which falls upon you.
I'd like some information about the village and its inhabitants. So what do you think of the steward?
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Too late if you ask me.
If I were you, I'd be wary of him. He is not as honorable as he would have you believe. Know that before the war, he was just a lackey, bowing and scraping before all the people of power that passed by. Due to a superior's mistake, he thinks he's in charge now. He's a latecomer, nothing but an opportunist, ready to do anything to keep his little piece of power. I've had the misfortune of experiencing his sense of priorities. When he no longer has a use for you, he lets you know you're not welcome.
I can't say I disagree with you there. This asshole treats everybody like his personal slaves.
For the moment, he treats you well because you serve his needs. This might not always be true, and then your lives will be threatened.
He'd go that far?
I didn't found the House of Healing alone. It was with my husband, Rolle. He was not a great warrior, nor a renowned strategist. His only gift was for healing. He was my teacher before becoming my husband. The steward welcomed us with open arms. We took care of his men, his villagers. Then the refugees started arriving in greater numbers. Too many for Chambriad, who ended up closing the gates and pretending that these people simply didn't exist. Rolle was furious. He tried to make him understand that he would heal everyone, no matter what. And if the self-proclaimed leader of the village wasn't capable of taking care of anyone other than himself, that he would do it. A few days later, I came back from the swamps to discover Rolle in agony in the healing house. He had been poisoned.
You think this was the work of the steward?
Who else would have reason to kill him? Everyone loved him and counted on him. Chambriad thought that without him, the healing house would close and that the number of refugees would diminish naturally. Unfortunately for him, I will continue my husband's good work even unto my dying breath. He gave me an even greater reason to keep going.
This healing house is a waste of time and resources. These people are but dead weight.
Who are these refugees you're helping?
They are the outcasts of the war. Those who didn't have the privilege of dying in combat, or who lack knowledge of the arts of the forge. No one wants them. If I don't help them, nobody will.
It seems like a lot of effort for nothing. Our resources could be put to better use. It's sad to say, but if these refugees can't contribute anything, we should probably concentrate on the ones who can help us all survive.
But it's not everyone, obviously. You're just as contemptible as the steward is.
What did you do before the war?
Before the war? Please don't tell me you're naive enough to believe that this war only started 10 years ago.
That's what everybody says.
I come from Shorelin, a faraway land in the north that the Ice Lords probably wiped off the map some time ago. Because no one is left to write the history books, other than a fanatical cult more interested in arcane magic than in human science or medicine.
That's just not fair. The Red Scarves are interested in every kind of knowledge. Each has his own speciality, of course. But the war has simply imposed certain priorities. And what is more important, we are not a cult.
If you say so, young lady. The fact remains that the war is far more ancient than that. For as long as I can remember, I have always known war. I was only just learning to walk when Marshal Winters invaded my homeland.
I have heard of this Ice Lord. Winters the Bloodthirsty.
I wandered along the main roads for years, always heading further south, staying just ahead of the advancing Deadwalkers. First with my sister, and a family of neighbors. Then just with my sister. Then all alone. Until the day I met the man who would become my husband. A remarkable elf, who taught me how to heal, and how to love, and help those near me. But after years of fleeing, and ending up here in this isolated village so in need of healers, we decided to put down roots. Roan died 8 months ago, leaving me alone and in charge of the House of Healing that we had built together.
I'm looking for a blacksmith. Do you know where I can find one in the village?
You could go and ask Esael for what you need. He's an elf who lives nearby. He's a rather odious character, but there isn't any alternative really, unless... While speaking with the refugees, I learned that one of them used to be a blacksmith, but he arrived here with nothing other than a dying cow. His name is Renko, I believe. I don't know if he's skilled, and without a forge he may not be much help. But he is certainly much more pleasant than that horrible elf.
Let's talk about your healing house. I found you a few health potions. Here, I hope these will help cover your needs for a little while.
They will prove very useful, I promise you. And thank you.
Where could I find some food for you?
Sadly, there isn't much choice. You have to go look for it in the swamps, unless you want to bargain for it with the steward. Perhaps he will be more generous with a mercenary than with a simple apothecary.
I'd like to see what you have to sell.
So, you have returned. What is your desire?
Get that forge cooking. You've got work to do. I don't want to see so much as a dent in the guard's armor. And we need some weapons with edges that will actually cut something.
I don't even have enough materials to forge a single sword worthy of the name. Sorry, but if what you want were possible, it would have been done long ago. What's more, I'm not really a blacksmith. If you want an assembly line of weapons, I wouldn't count too much on me.
So all I need to do is find another blacksmith.
Ha! Good luck with that. If they were as common as that, Valvanor would have had its own long ago, and I could happily return to creating my statues.
Show me what you have for sale.
Mr. Vulcan, what brings you here?
Let's talk about work. I've got a few questions I'd like to ask about this village. I talked with Marana. She thinks you poisoned her husband.
That is totally absurd. The woman is losing her mind. Her husband died of a sickness, just as many others have died before him. The swamp is a hostile place, and not merely because of its fauna. The very air, the food, the insects, all are deadly here. The woman is bereft. Very well. Her loss was great. She believes I'm not doing enough for the refugees. Very well, that is her opinion. But she goes too far. If she does not cease her vile allegations, I will have her cast out.
That wouldn't be smart. For now you've got the Red Scribes, but the refugees have only ever had Marana to take care of them. If you get rid of her, all those people will be after your hide. Not to mention the fact the Red Scribes won't be here forever. Prince Arundel or no, sooner or later we'll be heading for Caroldthas.
Yes, forgive me. I fear I allowed my frustration to voice itself. You are doubtless correct in your assertion. I suppose I should take the time to go and talk this out with her. As calmly as possible.
We'll talk again later.
Oh there, Powder Man. You still didn't manage to blow yourself up?
Pretty quiet around here, huh?
Yeah, too quiet for my taste. Do you really imagine the Deadwalkers are going to forget about this place just because this swamp is dangerous?
No, but it'll slow them down. Maybe we'll see them coming.
Ha! You can bet your ass they're already here. There's something in the air that stinks, and I don't mean the locals either. I feel like the Ice Lords are watching us. Right now.
I have a few questions for you. How are the Freeborn Blades holding up?
We left some blood on the stones in the temple, but most of the company got away all right. But if we don't get some new recruits soon, things are gonna get serious. The captain has sent some men ahead to Karalthas. I hope they manage to pick up a few recruits, and they're not too scabby.
Is there anybody in this village worth recruiting?
See for yourself. There isn't a single man amongst the guards or the refugees that knows which end of a sword you're supposed to hold. We'll just have to wait. And be careful.
So, you made it out of the temple then?
I did. I suppose my time's not up yet. I guess that'll cause more gossip amongst the youngsters. The eternal survivor. My balls. There are some days when I wish it would be over.
I tell you, you'll be the one that buries all of us. Do you think we can win against the Deadwalker army?
Against the Deadwalker army? No chance. Now, the Ice Lords, that's another question.
What do you mean?
Only that sometimes you have to try to chop off the head, you know? That bunch of walking corpses wouldn't be any trouble at all if there was no one to guide them.
I guess you're right, but I don't think that makes the task any simpler.
There was a time way back, you know, when there were so many of us in the company, several hundred, that the captain decided to delegate. So he chose 2 lieutenants. Those 2 assholes fought over how to share out the men for weeks. They both wanted to take the best men for their group. And the result? We had our asses handed to us by an army that was hardly more numerous than we were. I guess what I'm trying to say is that the Deadwalkers are just the same. You've got 7 bosses, and each one of them wants to control everything.
So if we were able to set them against each other?
Now you're thinking straight. I don't know how we could do it, but I'm sure that it's possible.
See you later.
A good day to you, soldier. I do believe that today is your lucky day.
I should warn you. Try to rip me off. I'll rip bits of you off.
No. I would never do that.
Seeing as how you're pretty resourceful, I figure you know everybody here. Is there a smith somewhere around?
Yes, there is one. Me.
I should have guessed. Another con?
Not at all. Listen. I understand you might think I'm some kind of charlatan, but before being an outcast starving in the worst hole in the swamp, I was a blacksmith. The problem is that I don't have any forge or equipment. Otherwise, believe me, I wouldn't be out here begging just to survive.
Why not use the village forge?
I tried that, but that idiot, the so-called artist that works there, almost took my head off and started throwing everything that wasn't nailed down at me. No, what I really need to work right is my equipment. My forge cart.
And where is your cart?
At the other end of the swamp, unfortunately. Here, look. I'll show you on your map.
I'll get it back for you. You'll help me fix up the guard's equipment. Agreed?
Agreed. On one condition, of course. That you also get me some supplies. Let's see. There aren't that many guards, so about 10 pieces of raw metal, 10 good leather hides, and 10 pieces of refined metal should do the trick.
Well, I hope with all that, our guards will be well equipped. There should be enough food. We'll see what Marana says when we get back to the healing house. Anybody home?
Gods, these people are amateurs. This village is about as secure as your granny's underwear. Not a single watchman at his post. It's worse than I'd imagined.
I'll deal with this, Captain.
Good. I'm counting on you. Remember, if you screw this up, we'll all be joining the ranks of the Dead Walker army as soon as their scouts find this place.
You wanted the Freeborn Blades to help the villagers. Is that still happening?
As long as we have to stay here, yes. Why?
The villagers told me about a beast. I have to find its lair.
Hawk talked to me about that a while ago. He said he'd found some suspicious-looking tracks that led back to the northern swamps.
I'll go and follow the tracks. Where's Hawk?
No idea. I sent him off to scout that part of the swamp, but he hasn't reported back yet.
Captain, I wanted to ask... Do you really think we should be trusting these red scribes?
Vulcan, I'm not going to try and make this pretty. These are tough times. Thanks to this cursed war, our list of potential clients is shrinking faster than my dick when I jump into an ice bath. I get it, that after what happened in the temple, you'd like to send them all packing. This whole demon business is complicated. But we are mercenaries after all is said and done. We're not a charity. We're only as good as our clients. And you know, even if they did screw things up back there, they were right to try and find some way to beat the Ice Lords. What's the alternative? Lie down and wait to freeze?
Thanks to them, we all nearly bought it back at the temple. I'm not even convinced it was an accident.
You have a point. And since we don't want to finish up as a pile of bodies under a snowdrift, we're going to keep a sharp eye on them from now on.
Do you think the company is going to make it?
Of course. The Blades have always come through. They've existed for more than 2 centuries, and they won't give up now. Not during my watch. But to tell you the truth, we're not looking too fresh. Not with the losses we took back at the temple. And as for new recruits, it's been what? A year or more since we found anyone worthwhile.
Most of us were recruited when the war began, and there aren't many of us left. The only available recruits now are either cowards, deserters, or kids.
If we're gonna hold this village, we're going to have to do it using the locals, even though most of them look like they couldn't organize a party in a brewery. As soon as we've recovered a bit, we'll break camp and head for Carolthas. I already sent some of the Blades ahead to see if they could find any new recruits. With a bit of luck, they'll come up with something better than one-armed, no-legged trolley rollers.
Why did we fall back to the swamp?
The Red Scribes knew of this place and said that we'd be safe here for a while. And apart from a few repulsive beasties creeping around outside the walls, it's actually quite peaceful. I don't think I'd buy a house here, though, would you? So we'll heal our wounded, try and learn what's happening to you, and then get the hell out of here.
Captain, just fought a duel with Ranvil, the guardian of the village. And before you start yelling about wasted energy, I want you to know that it was him that insisted on it. He's one hell of a fighter. He hits you like he was chopping down a tree, and he can take a blow and shake it off. He wants to join the Blades.
I have the feeling that every new recruit I take on these days is headed straight for the cemetery. But considering the losses we've suffered, I suppose I can't refuse. Bring him here to me. I'll check him out.
I'm leaving.
like giant, you know, things.
Yes, yes, I know what you're thinking, mercenary.
That's my cart, damn it! That's my cart!
It was a pain in the ass getting it here from the middle of the swamp, so I strongly suggest you fix the forge.
Don't worry about it. You won't regret it. I have to fix it and clean it up a bit, but there'll soon be a second forge in the village. Thanks. Greetings, Vulcan.
I spoke too soon. I still need some things. Let me see what you've made this time.
Greetings, Vulcan.
Let me see what you've made this time. like the chrysalids attacking. Hey, time to wake up. Are you Heyman? Mirana's assistant?
Mirana.
You okay? Can you move?
Cold.
Man, you don't look so good. Come on, we'll go back to the village. Mirana will take care of you.
Heyman! Oh, you found him. Thank you. But what have you done to him? Did you hit him?
He was like this when I found him in the swamps. He followed without complaint, but never said a word.
He must be in a state of shock. I'll take care of him. In any case, Heyman owes you much, as I do. All of these refugees are in your debt. Please, I would like you to have this. It belonged to my husband.
Hey, thanks. I'll put it to good use. Here, I got those ingredients you wanted, and some things to eat as well.
This is very generous of you. I promise you this will save many lives.
What is the point? As useless as bandaging a corpse.
Perfect. Then I can begin passing all this out among the refugees. Here. This is to thank you for your efforts.
Thanks. You got everything you need, I think.
Thank you for your help. But don't fool yourself. With all of these refugees, I never have everything we need. If you ever have any extra food or ingredients, I'd be happy to buy them from you.
I'll keep that in mind. You got everything you need, I think.
Thank you for your help. But don't fool yourself. With all of these refugees, I never have everything we need.
I'll keep that in mind. How's your assistant doing?
Alas, there's been no improvement. He's awake, but reacts to nothing. I have no idea what he could have seen to put him in such a state.
Let's talk about your healing house. I'll take my leave. See you later. The mercenary salutes you, knight. I talked with the captain. He wants to see you. Come on, follow me.
Vulcan, I do love our little chats, but shouldn't you be doing something?
Captain, this is Ranval. He talks funny, but he can kick ass.
So, it's Ranval, is it?
That is the knight's name. How can he prove his valor to you?
Alrighty then. I'm glad you warned me that he talks a bit funny. Right then, laddie. All you have to do is fight a duel with me. And do your best.
It will be an honor to fight with a man who they say has never been beaten.
If you think you can flatter me into letting you off lightly, forget about it. Like I said, do your best.
The knight hopes that he will be the first to vanquish him. He will not hold back his blows.
That's more like it. Let's see what you've got, laddie. Not bad. Not bad at all. Welcome to the Freeborn Blades, my boy. We were starting to be seriously short of fighters worthy of the name, and you fight like a man. Though you're a ways off from beating me. Vulcan! He's your recruit. You can take care of him. Go on. Away with you.
Welcome to the Freeborn Blades, friend. Don't take it so hard. The entry fight is a humiliation we all had to go through. Me included.
The captain deserves his post and his reputation. He is an exceptional warrior. The knight will be proud to serve under his orders. After such a combat, the knight will need to rest for a moment. He asks that his friend, and now brother, come to find him when he has need.
Okay. See you later.
So, you have returned. What is your desire?
The steward said there was a beast attacking the villagers.
This is what one hears, yes. Something is wandering through the swamps, devouring the reckless. The saddest part is that it's often the guards who end up lost, along with their equipment. Meanwhile, we are overrun with refugees who serve no useful purpose at all.
I'll be back.
That's an excellent idea.
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
I need your help. Come with me.
If you want.
It's on account of that Nigella, ain't it? I take one look at her, and suddenly it's the end of the world.
My respects, General, sir.
Do I look like a general?
I don't know, General, sir.
If I'm asking you that, it probably means that I'm not.
Well, it could be a test to see if I'm being a good soldier, General, sir.
Then you flunked the test. You are crap at recognizing rank.
They never taught me that, General, sir. Plus, I don't see so good, General, sir.
Is there a boss guard to help you with that?
Yes, General, sir. He posted me here and said to deal with it, General, sir.
This village is condemned, and without a doubt it is better thus.
All right, we're not going to waste all day on this, and stop calling me General, sir. My name is Vulcan.
Understood, General Vulcan, sir.
I suggest you roll with it. Congratulations on your promotion, General.
Yeah, thanks. Whatever. Forget about it, soldier. I would like you to give me some information about the village. What do you think of the boss guard?
General, sir, Boss Guard Mason, he is a good boss. He is, competent and,
Be honest, soldier. The one thing I hate is a liar.
Well, it's just I don't want any trouble, General, sir.
You won't get any. I'm asking you this because I trust you, and nobody else will ever know.
Okay, General, sir. Because the thing is, well, Boss Guard Mason, I guess I don't think he is a very good boss, General, sir. He insults us all the time and never shows us how to do nothing. He spends all his time drinking like a chamber pot instead of doing his patrols.
Drinking like a chamber pot?
Please, I don't even want to know. Thanks for the information. It'll stay just between us. What do you think about the steward?
The steward? Well, I don't know much about him, General, sir. But before the war, when he took care of the hunting lodge, he used to come and buy vegetables from my grandparents. But they didn't like him much. He always spoke to them like he thought they was scum.
You stand in front of the swamps every day. You must know a lot about them, right?
Oh, not that much, General, sir. I never set foot out there. It's way too dangerous. Boss Mason posted me at this here gate, and that is just fine with me. There's lots of monsters out there. I can hear them, and that's enough for me. And even when there's no noise, we hear the whispering and well, that's even worse.
The whispering?
Yes, General, sir. Sounds like my own mama's voice sometimes. Except that she's been dead these past 5 years. Plus, I can't make out one word she's saying. And that don't make no sense. Mama and me always understood each other.
I see. All these refugees, are they causing any trouble?
Well, it's true there is a lot of them. So that means a lot more work for us. Sometimes one of them will try to sneak in and steal some food. But we don't ever let them do that. Then again, we can't get too mad at them either. It's all because of the war. Those people are just like us, more or less, except that they've lost everything. And sometimes they help us too. A couple have even joined the guard when the boss thought they was good enough. Plus there's Renko. Well, he fixed up my granddad's spade. He's a real nice guy, that one.
I see. Let's change the subject. See you later, soldier. These poor guys are dog meat, but their equipment still seems to be in good shape. Mason will be relieved that his men didn't make too much of a mess of their weapons and equipment. You don't look much like a good luck charm. Fuck.
Please! Get me out of here!
Kinda have a hands full right now. Just let me deal with this creature, and I'll be right with you.
They always say, they always end up with their flesh torn to pieces.
Which is a real good reason to stop distracting me.
This is horrible. We can't just leave that woman in this prison. We must find a way to free her from here.
Civil, do not do that! I know this woman. She is not here by accident. She is a witch. If you free her, we all run the risk of falling under the power of her magic.
But Father, we can't just let this poor person die here. It would be inhuman.
Inhuman? That is exactly what she is, my child.
He's the wicked one. Aeolus, is it not? He's the one who imprisoned me, with no food or water, and barely clothed.
I what? You lying bitch! Don't listen to her.
Father?
She is trying to manipulate you. Use your brain, child.
I'm begging you, get me out of here. I can't hold on much longer.
Who are you?
My name is Edwin. The ignorant will tell you that I'm a witch, a sorceress, or even a necromancer. The truth is much simpler and more socially acceptable. I am, in fact, a magician. But neither as powerful nor as evil-minded as they think me.
She lies to me. She is hiding something, and it is not her body.
You would say that.
I beg your pardon?
No, nothing.
Believe me, she is powerful. She is evil, and she is a danger to us all.
You seem to know a lot about her. What the hell are you doing here anyway?
The steward asked me to look into a dark power that has been affecting some of the villagers. Something evil. And my search has led me here. It is no coincidence. That cursed woman is the cause.
I wouldn't expect him to admit to keeping a woman captive in the swamps for his own evil purposes.
Nonsense.
And so you just trotted out here with no escort? What, were you afraid we'd charge you extra?
I came here as quickly as possible, yes, to stop you committing a grievous error. I was hoping that you would escort us back to the village afterwards. Without a supplement, yes. Seems to me that you are quite well paid.
I've never been in the habit of just letting people die like animals in a cage. Whatever their crimes may be. This woman doesn't look like a dead walker. That's enough for me. We'll take it back to Valvanor, and you can tell your stories to them.
Stay away, you stupid girl! No! Fools! Leave her in that cage!
Now meet your eternity.
What are you doing to him? Let him go!
Very well. You may have him. I am finished.
Father? Father! Oh no, no! This can't be happening!
You're gonna wish you had died back there in that cell, you sick bitch!
Wait, wait! If I am to die, I wish to know who stands before me.
I am Vulcan, Powder Master of the Freeborn Blades. And as for the man you made the mistake of killing, he was our...
That is not my question. Who stands before me? Are you an imbecile or blind?
I might be the mercenary who is going to grab you by your snake of a tongue and throw you into the darkest pit he can find.
From what I can see, you're an imbecile, incapable of piercing the face that hides the true nature of the Red Scribes.
Well, I can pierce your face, if that's all you want, in several places.
Mock, if you like. Lamb that you are. You insist on believing that your employers are only scholars, curious and inoffensive. Can you not see more? Red Scribes, Ice Lords, they come from the same mold, and they want the same thing. Some are simply more successful in their efforts. Aeolus thought I possessed knowledge which he could use to become the equal of the Ice Lords. That's why he questioned me.
That's ridiculous! You are the monster! You're a liar! My father wasn't like that! A liar! You murderer! You'll pay for what you did!
Sybil, wait! Witch, I suggest you behave yourself if you don't want to find yourself back rotting in that cell of yours. I'm far from finished with you. I have questions. Lots of questions. And you had better make damn sure I like the answers.
So be it. Then I will tell you exactly what you want to hear, mercenary.
You had the upper hand. Why did you decide to kill the leader of the Red Scribes?
I desperately needed to replenish my power, so I drained his. My mood grows a bit murderous when I get too hungry, or when I spend too many days trapped in a filthy cell without so much as a toilet. Your friend was no hero. His aim was to reproduce the same ancient rituals that permitted powerful magicians to become the Ice Lords that we are fighting even now.
He wasn't my friend. He was my employer, and a very influential man. You could have spared him, giving credence to your version of events, but you chose to kill him, and thus any chance of them listening to you.
He was a deceitful and manipulative man. No one would have listened to me, so I permitted myself the pleasure of preventing him from harming anyone else.
The World Heart has had nothing but suffering from these magicians. I rejoice at this death. We need more like it.
Let's say I understand your reasons, but it was still a reprehensible thing to do that has put us both in a seriously shitty situation. We're going to have to play this right in Valvanor. We'll try to talk with a steward, or the Red Scribes will lynch you without a second thought.
We? Am I to infer that you're going to help me, gentle mercenary?
Somebody has to deal with it. You seem to take pleasure in exposing yourself. To trouble, I mean.
It's true. I hate denying myself a little pleasure, but I'm not worried about the outcome. Aeolus's daughter saw everything. She is an innocent, and will confirm everything that happened here. All you need to do is deliver your model prisoner to your steward.
Besides Aelas, did you see any of the other Red Scribes?
I was drugged before being brought here. Aeolus is the only scribe who came to visit me during my captivity. But his second-in-command must have known, although I don't know exactly how much Aeolus was able to manipulate his puppets. If they are all as naive as his daughter, I imagine the temptation must have been great.
The Red Scribes performed a ritual in an ancient temple. Does that mean anything to you?
So that's the reason why he disappeared. The ritual was designed to augment his power. Had it succeeded, he would have become an accomplished magician, the first step toward becoming an Ice Lord. Given the ease with which I killed him, I suspect the ritual was a failure, or at least a partial failure.
Let's just say the results weren't quite what he was hoping for. But something definitely happened. There was a burst of light, or maybe flame. And this thing entered inside me.
A thing? What thing?
A sort of parasite. The Red Scribes told me it was a demon.
Neither one nor the other, insolent boy. I bring thee flames. I bring thee the World Heart. I bring thee the power, and thou wilt hold me back with thy ingratitude and thy weak, pitiful body. Thou darest name me parasite.
Hello? You still here?
Huh? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. He's kind of sensitive.
I must say, I have never heard of such a thing. It is, at the very least, troubling.
The end result is I sometimes find myself wondering who I am, what I am. That is, when we're not arguing, or it's not taking control without asking me what I think about it. Then again...
This is absolutely fascinating. I think, when we get the chance, we should talk about it in more depth, meaning we undoubtedly need to experiment a bit. There is probably much to learn from this demon.
We'll see. For now, we've got more pressing problems. Let's finish this discussion in Valvanor. We better get back before they send a battalion out to look for us. I'll be pissed, but I gotta go face him.
Well, first go see your steward before the villagers decide to burn me at the stake. I mean, if you want to, Vulcan.
It'll probably turn into an interrogation pretty quickly. Try not to make it worse for yourself. And don't kill anyone, for starters. Especially if he's wearing red.
That seems reasonable to me, for the moment. I'd rather stay here if you don't mind.
Why? You're not planning to give me the slip by any chance, are you?
I don't like the idea of getting locked up by the Red Scribes again. It might provoke me into a loss of my legendary restraint. And I'm sure that you don't want to have to scrape another one of your employers up off the ground.
Well, it's true that I prefer they remain in one piece. All right, fine, you can stay here. But if you do get it in your head to run away, I will find you. And you won't like it when I do.
I'm trembling, but yes, I'll wait here.
So, did you find this famous beast?
Found it and killed it. But don't hold your breath waiting for its fur for next winter, because I didn't bring it back for you.
Excellent news. I knew the village could count on you.
Actually, not so excellent. Alis is dead.
Dead? But no, that's not possible. Are you sure?
When it doesn't move and it doesn't breathe and it looks at you with an even stupider gaze than one of your guards, that generally means it's dead, yeah.
I demand that you show some respect. The Red Scribes are a precious help to us here. Aeolus was a useful man, a good man, and he was under your care.
Oh, please. Your good man had a few skeletons in his closet. He was controlling the swamp beast to keep people away. He had you all fooled. Aeolus was even ready to kill his own daughter to cover up his secrets.
What nonsense is this? How can you make such ridiculous accusations? Am I to understand he died at your hands?
He turned up all alone at the place where I fought the beast. No guide, no escort. He knew the way. And after coming after Sybil, he tried to kill his captive to shut her up. There was a fight, and he didn't survive.
What madness. What do you know of this prisoner? If Aeolus held her captive, she must have been dangerous.
She doesn't talk much, but something tells me she knows more than she's letting on about the Ice Lords.
I don't like this. You realize you may have set a wolf among the sheep.
Or maybe someone who could be useful in our fight with the Deadwalkers.
Well then, you must find out immediately. As of now, she is your responsibility. I should deliver her to the Red Scribes without any further ado, yet, after what you have told me, I no longer know what to think. She will be given a fair hearing. Until that time, she never leaves your presence. If there is the least incident, I promise you, you shall answer for it. And there is no prison here, in case you had not noticed.
Okay. Sounds fair to me.
However low your opinion was of Aeolus, his death is a great loss for Valvanor. He was meant to be looking into a most disturbing matter.
All right, I can see where this is headed. What do you want?
There is no guarantee that you have the necessary skills to handle this matter, Freeborn Blade. Even Mirana is flummoxed.
What is it? An epidemic?
That's exactly what I'd like to know. Several of the villagers have been behaving curiously of late. They have become distant, taciturn, and barely react to the world around them.
They're just hungover. You'd know if you got drunk more often, and you look like you need to.
I believe there are a few here who know the difference. It's something else. They seem very concentrated, as though they are observing us. I feared some kind of sickness, and that it will spread throughout the village.
Got it. I'll slap them around a little. That should wake them up.
My goodness. That's not exactly what I had in mind, but I must confess the results interest me more than the methods.
Well, that's gonna be my method, so let's leave it at that if you don't mind. I'm not helping you because you made puppy eyes at the captain.
Greetings, mercenary.
So are you getting on with the cure to wake up the prince?
Unfortunately, no. Without the poison I told you about, I can't make it.
I'm still looking for the chrysalid queen. I'll find some eventually.
Like I said, the villagers say that their territory is around the road we came here by, but they only come out at night.
I'll go look into it. I'll be going now.
Leave me, Vulcan. I don't want to talk right now.
No, I'm staying. We have to talk about what happened. Putting it off until later will change nothing.
You could at least respect my grieving.
You're whining because you just found out your dear daddy was a son of a bitch, right?
Don't say that. He was my father.
Right. Your father who tried to kill you.
I don't believe he would have done that. He must have had his reasons. Maybe he wanted to scare me.
His reasons? I wonder what kind of reason he had for holding a woman prisoner in the swamps and leaving her to starve. Even I find that disgusting.
She was dangerous. She killed him.
I'm not saying she did the right thing, but if it wasn't for her, you'd be dead. You gotta stop hiding from the truth. Your father hid a lot of stuff from us.
I swear to you, I don't know. I don't know why he had that woman prisoner, and I don't know what happened at the temple.
Yeah, okay. So you don't want to know what he was plotting, what he was hiding from us?
Of course I do. It's the only way I can hope to understand what he did.
That's good. So now we have to dry your tears and pull it together. Since you obviously didn't know what he was up to, you are the only Red Scribe that I can trust. If you want to avenge your father, or even understand him, you're gonna have to help me. But I warn you, I can't stand crybabies, got it?
Yes, I get it. Your bluntness is eloquent. But don't worry, I'll be there when you need me.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What do you want to know?
So then, any result from the study of all these creatures of the swamps?
I observed that the Rippers always hide inside objects, like a tree trunk, for example. They're quite slow and only attack from a very close distance. On the other hand, they can grab their prey and drag them towards themselves. Have you discovered any new creatures?
We did fight with the creature that we called the Swamp Beast.
As you may remember, I was there and saw it with my own eyes.
But considering what happened, I'd be surprised if you did.
The desire for knowledge has its limits. I think I can live without any more information about that horrible thing.
So then,
Have you discovered?
I destroyed some of the fungi, or parasite. They're like a round ball that doesn't move, but if you go too close to them, they release a poisonous cloud. It's better to attack them from a distance. So,
Have you
there are whip vines. I mean, I'm not very good at naming things and creatures, but that's how I describe what they do. When you go close to them, they whip out to strike you. See you later.
Greetings, mercenary.
I have some questions I'd... Did you know about Edwin?
Are you asking if I helped ALS? No, not voluntarily at any rate. Our late Grand Master asked me to carry out a medical examination of the woman while she was still our guest. Of course, he wanted me to be discreet, so I couldn't really examine her.
What did you learn?
Apart from the fact that your friend looks like a woman, human and in perfect health, nothing.
So everything's normal?
Apparently, but as I said, I wasn't allowed to examine her. Everything looks normal, which isn't exactly the same thing. To get back to your initial question, the only part I played in the story was to give our Grand Master a powerful soporific. He must have used it to capture her. But believe me, I had absolutely no idea who the victim was going to be.
I'll be going now.
As I understand it, some people are behaving even more stupidly than they normally do?
That's right. They have asked me to check it out.
Perfect. I'll come along with you.
Hang on. What is your interest in all of this? Is there something you're not telling me? What are you trying to prove by coming with me?
How perceptive, how brilliant.
Yeah, great. Just tell me what you know or think you know about all of this.
All right, but keep it to yourself for the moment. We don't want to start a panic, at least not until we're completely sure of ourselves. It seems to me that I recognize these symptoms, and if I am right, these people are possessed.
What? What are you talking about?
I'm not yet certain. We absolutely must inspect and investigate further in order to be sure. But I think the Deadwalker army is behind all of this.
All right, let's go.